Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Sagittarius Solar Festival webinar of the 2025 initiative. My name is Alexander and I welcome you on behalf of the 2025 coordination group. And as always, we will start our work with alignment, coming together as one group, connecting through space, linking heart to heart, country to country, continent to continent. We realize ourselves as a soul, extending the radiance of own heart, we expand the radiance of own heart and we link with the heart center of the group, of our group that gathered together today for this webinar. And we expand the radiance of the group heart to include all people of goodwill around the world, coming together in the heart center of the new group of world servers. And from here we align with the heart center of the spiritual hierarchy of the planet, Christ. And we extend our alignment further to the heart center where the will of God is known, Shambhala. And from here we bring our attention to humanity, the vibrant planetary center. And we refocus back into our group heart center. And we sound the mantra of unification. The sons of men are one, and I am one with them. I seek to love, not hate. I seek to serve and not exact due service. I seek to heal, not hurt. Let pain bring due reward of light and love. Let the soul control life and all events that underlies the happenings of the time. Let the vision come and insight. Let the future stand revealed. Let inner union demonstrate and outer cleavages begun. Let love prevail. Let all men love. Welcome to the Sagittarius Solar Festival webinar. Today, we bring our focus to the seed group of educators in the new age. And our guests today, Alice and Rudolf from Switzerland. I warmly welcome you and extend our collective gratitude for you to join us today and bring our collective focus to important work of educators. So please unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Are you here?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you well.
Good, very good. So thank you for the invitation to speak tonight about the seed group of educators. It is very fitting that this webinar comes just before the Sagittarius Solar Festival, because the field of education is very vast and reaches very high. Like Sagittarius, we have really to see the goal, reach it, and see another goal behind it. It's a really very vast field. Now, if I want to share the slides now, yes. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. I will start by saying some words about sharing some ideas about the seed group of educators, and afterwards Rudolf will speak about the golden rule, which is a principle that is found in all spiritual traditions of the world, and which he sees as a guiding principle for education. So, the seed group of educators is the fourth group in the list that the Tibetan has given us. It deals with the inflow of the light at various levels, like the light of knowledge into the instinctual man, the light of wisdom into intelligent man, and the light of applied knowledge, expressed wisdom, and occult understanding in spiritual man. This is the triple task of the group of educators given in Discipleship in the New Age, Volume 1. What does this all mean? It means that education consists in bringing light from the lowest level to the highest level of humanity. It starts with physical education. Children have to train and learn to use their bodies, the physical bodies. It continues with the learning of the control of the emotions. Then with the development and training of the mind. Then the integration of all these levels into the personality, and the reaching out from the personality to the soul, and then on to the divine in us, to what we call the monad. So, the Tibetan also tells us that this group is peculiarly associated with the number 4. It's the 4th group. It is also a bridging group. The 4th ray is the central ray among the 7, and it has precisely this task of bringing together opposites and creating harmony. So what do the educators bridge? They bridge between the personality and the monad, as I already said. They also have another bridging function, which is to bring together the 3 aspects of the mind: the lower mind, the soul, and the higher mind. And then link all that with the higher unity, the higher trinity, the spiritual triad. This also applies to the 4th kingdom as a whole, humanity. We are also a bridging kingdom between the 3 superhuman kingdoms and the 3 subhuman kingdoms. Another correspondence to the number 4 is the 4th plane, is the Buddhic plane, the plane of intuition, that needs to be reached by the bridge of light. It is a link, this Buddhic plane is a link between the 3 higher worlds of spiritual being, which are beyond the Buddhic plane, and the 3 lower worlds of human endeavor and experience, where we normally live. The work of the educators has therefore to do with the light, of using the light. And the work of the whole group of the educators, and also the work of each one of us as educators, is to create a great pathway of light between the personality and the spiritual triad, the higher aspect, the divine aspect in us, which manifests as spiritual will, intuition or intuitive understanding, and the higher mind. I wanted to talk to you also about a little booklet that has recently been published in France. For those of you who speak French, this short booklet called The Education of Humanity has done the amazing task of summarizing the whole field of education in less than 40 pages, going from the aspects I mentioned of education of children, of youth, of adults, integration of the personality, on to education for world citizenship, teaching unity in diversity, uniting the whole world, and to the highest level of what they call the school of sages, where it is the training in the higher spiritual realities. So for those of you who know French, it's worth reading. Afterwards, we will do the Sagittarius meditation, the full moon meditation, using a text that was given by Dr. Krishnamacharya, our master in India. But before that, now I give the word to Rudolf to speak about the golden rule.
Hello, dear co-workers and friends. The golden rule is for me the key for all what we have to do together. Because if we respect each other according to the golden rule, then we build already a enlightened platform for all the things we want to work out. So this brought me to the idea when the Tibetan master tells us we should learn to see humanity as the masters of wisdom, or the Christ sees us all together as a human family on planet Earth. Then I was reflecting about what happened that we divided ourselves into 200 intellectual national states. This is what we have today. We have about 200 members in the United Nations. So what have we to do according to the golden rule? That we build once again this one humanity as the active center on planet Earth, guided by the spiritual hierarchy and by the higher levels of leadership on our planet. So I thought, what can we teach at first everywhere? This is, in my understanding, the golden rule. Because with this respect, what is expressed through this golden rule formula, we will build a total different humanity, where everybody is not in any kind of competition or other more unfriendly relationships. So, because I think every child understands the golden rule instinctively. So I had reflected about when the Tibetan told us to learn to see humanity as the hierarchy of the planet is seeing humanity. So we are not divided into about 200 national states. We are living in different areas of culture on the planet. And these areas of cultures, they are not really divided with national borders and with custom and everything. So this is all man-made for certain purposes. So how can we transform this one culture with different aspects on the planet by overcoming this intellectual constructions, what we did in the last about 200 years of national states? You know what a lot of weapons were also developed, that the stronger one, we are always dictating the smaller one, and so on and so on. So this was an unhappy situation for all of us on this planet. So what can we now do? How do we come back to this plan, what the Christ tries to put on this planet Earth in humanity and with humanity? So therefore, I think the first is, let's keep the golden rule constantly in mind, so that we, based on this platform of the golden rule, we try to get into all contexts around us, so that we radiate and create another atmosphere. We have a very harsh atmosphere today on planet Earth, with competition in different ways. This is even in school, this is in business, and the worst one is when we have wars. So we have now to transform ourselves into real human beings, not in intellectual personalities who want to do something for themselves. We have to learn to work together for the common good. Everything what we are doing should be in a value that it is useful for the common good of all on this planet. And in my understanding, it is good when we keep for this process, and when we teach this process how we see it, that we also give the golden rule as a guiding force for everybody who is interested to transform human beings into really sons of God. So our planetary logos, as when I am remembering right, has represents about 60 billion human souls. So this is a tremendous, so not everybody is every time incarnated. So the people coming into this world for a learning process and go out, and then another batch of other developed, higher or the lower developed beings coming in. And so this is the divine plan, what is running on this planet. So now, for me, the golden rule is this respectful instrument that we can really start working together with the Masters of Wisdom, especially with Master Tuarkul, because he brought to us all this wisdom, and that we are really useful disciples for these masters. Then they are waiting, they need us, that we can work in our world society, but we will start or try working from the very beginning, not as nationalists. We work as human beings, as the others are, and open up a new energy of correspondence for all of us on this planet. I hope you understand what I want to express. There are no fences around individuals, around us as individuals. We are all constantly on our emotional plane, on our mental plane, and the etheric plane. We are constantly in contact without knowing this very often. So this is my understanding of work, what is before us under the guidance of the Masters of Wisdom, so that we create a total new humanity, a humanity who is really also has the capability to help to work out this divine plan on planet Earth. First of all, we have to have the right instruments that we can work out this, and this, the first step is for us with the golden rule, and to be as first of all a human being, and not an American, a Russian, a German, an Italian, a Spanish, and so on. As long as we identify ourselves with our national state, we are dividing ourselves as one humanity on planet Earth. And this is what we experienced in the last 100 years, with all these many wars and battlefields what we had. This all is a misunderstanding and has now to be corrected. And we have to start from now as brothers and sisters on the planet, ready to help our real government. This is the Christ, this is Masters of Wisdom on planet Earth, to help them to create a new light on Earth where everybody feels healthy and feels good. And then also a lot of fear will be going out from humanity, because there's so much fear everywhere, you can feel it. So all this we have to help to heal this and to free humanity to be really an intelligent being coming to planet Earth for helping the evolution on this planet, for a new world society. And as you know, we are now in a process where we, from the technical standpoint, we try to build now ships for space. So we are ready to contact other people in other solar systems. We are technically on a level that we can fulfill this now. As you know from the news, they want now to land on Mars at first, but we can also think a little bit further, and this is then coming in contact with other planets in other solar systems. So these reflections all together, I think we have to share with all our friends and co-workers that we see there is a certain simplicity also in this kind of development, because we are serving all together as peaceful instruments for good human relations, for good relations with the other kingdoms of nature and so on. There is also this meat-eating question. Have we really the right to kill animals that we can eat? So according to how our teeth are built out, if you look in the mirror, then you see we have not the teeth for a meat eater. We have a teeth for eating fruits and especially fruits. Even not cut plants and eat plants, on more and more eating fruits. Okay, so I will stop now here. This all my reflections on this education. We can start by ourselves and then share this process with others. And I thank you that you gave me the possibility to speak about this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rudolf.
Thank you, Rudolf. Today we will change our format a little bit, and now we will go into meditation, and we will have a possibility to share impressions from the meditation afterwards. So we'll have an open microphone.
This is already closed. It looks.
No, we do the meditation now, and afterwards we'll continue.
Ah, so okay.
With a sharing of impressions from meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, Alice, please lead us in meditation.
All right. So I use the meditation outline of the Arcane School, letting in the light. So let's start by aligning. sitting comfortably, breathe and observing our respiration. Let us forget our worries and thoughts that occupied us during the day and concentrate on being a receptacle for the light. We see ourselves in the center of the heart of the group of world servers, mediator between hierarchy and humanity. And we say the mantra of world servers. I am one with my group brothers, and all that I have is theirs. May the love which is in my soul pour forth to them. May the strength which is in me lift and aid them. May the thoughts which my soul creates reach and encourage them. We project a line of lighted energy towards the spiritual hierarchy of the planet, the planetary heart, the great ashram of Sanat Kumara, and towards the Christ at the heart of the hierarchy. We extend this line of light towards Shambhala, the center where the will of God is known. We hold our contemplative mind open to the extraplanetary energies streaming into Shambhala and radiating through the hierarchy. Using our creative imagination, we see the three planetary centers, Shambhala, hierarchy, and humanity, coming into alignment and interplay. At the same time, as the sun, earth, and moon come into alignment, bringing in the energies of Sagittarius. I'll now read this meditation meditation on the sign of Sagittarius. All the forces in you should be directed to one purpose, and that is your life work. Everyone should aim at the consciousness of the group. This is beyond individuals. Everyone should prepare his activity like an archer who aims at the object which is revolving in space above their heads. To trace this target, they should look into themselves, into their own thoughts and emotions, filtered into spiritual aspirations and synthesized into the one aspiration of our planet, the will of our Lord. Meditate yourself as an archer, practicing shooting at the target above, while looking at its reflection in a lake of water below. The water is your life. The reflection is your understanding, and the object above is your liberation. Five are the number of arrows available. They are the five senses working through you. We now use our imagination to visualize the energies of light, love, and the will to good pouring throughout the planet and becoming anchored on Earth in prepared physical plane centers through which the plan can manifest. We see the progression of divine love precipitating through Shambhala, the hierarchy, the Christ, the group of world service, men and women of goodwill everywhere in the world, and the physical centers of distribution. We refocus our consciousness as a group within the periphery of the great ashram, and we sound the affirmation: in the center of all love I stand. From that center I, the soul, will outward move. From that center I, the one who serves, will work. May the love of the Divine Self be shed abroad in my heart, through my group, and throughout the world. We visualize this downpouring spiritual inflow released from Shambhala through the hierarchy into humanity through this prepared channel. We see these energies establishing a pathway of light, linking all levels on the planet, all kingdoms on the planet, in preparation for the coming of the world teacher, the Christ. We continue to visualize this outpouring of light and love and power from the spiritual hierarchy through the 5 planetary inlets: London, Darjeeling, New York, Geneva, Tokyo, as we sound the great invocation, thus irradiating the consciousness of the whole human race. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. So now I suppose we can share our impressions and questions and comments.
Yes. Thank you, Alice, for leading us.
Thank you, no problem.
We invite you to join the conversation. You can use the function raise your hand. It's a button on the control panel. We will unmute you, or you can use the question section of the control panel to share your comments. There might be some time for impressions to precipitate and be formulated. So we can have some silence to allow this process to unfold.
There is a question by Suzanne Miller in the question section.
Could you please read, Daniela?
Yes. So the question goes, you refer to a master you work with. Was this a meditation given by him? Many thanks for your loving service.
Yes, the meditation outline was that of the Arcane School, the full moon meditation, but the text about Sagittarius, it is from a book by Dr. Krishnamacharya called Full Moon Meditations. There is one for each sign of the zodiac.
Is this book available online? How people could get access?
I think it is available online as well, yes. It is on the website of the World Teacher Trust, I think it's called. The book is available as a PDF. I have to make sure though I'm stopping my screen, but I can. Yeah, I think
found
it's
the site. Yeah. What is the name of the book? Can you repeat, please?
Full Moon Meditations.
Do you have the link to the actual book?
I'm just looking for it. Just a sec. I don't know why I opened the French page, but I try to get to the English page. Publications here. Meditation. Full Moon Meditations. No, you can order it, but it's not. It's not online.
Jana shared the link. Actually, she found it already, and so I posted it in the chat section, so you can have it in the link.
Right. Chat.
Thank you, Jana.
Yeah. Yes, there it is. You can also order it. I think we have still some copies available in case you want to order it in Geneva. Yes, we do have it in electronic format also, as a Word document.
Can you please paste it in the chat window?
The book, the entire book,
The link. The link. this?
I don't have a link. I have it in my computer, that's all.
Oh, I see. So if anyone interested, probably can contact Alice directly for that.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
There is a comment from Marta. I will paste it now. Thank you both for your lovely presentation. It may be of interest to know that at the United Nations, much work is taking place to implement the SDG agenda. Some of this work continues to be receiving suggestions that will bring success. Right now, the Interagency Task Force has invited position papers that will improve access to funds among the poor. Some of us working in the Finance for Development section are including in our portion reference to the Golden Rule as the underlying principle of inclusion that all financial institutions need to follow. We'll send on language that is being proposed. Thank you, Marta. It's very
thank. That's very positive. Yeah. Our president is Lysinka Olatowska. Maybe you know her. She has been working at the UN in New York for a long time as an NGO representative, and she's working very intensively also on the SDGs.
There are a few more comments coming. I invite who has a functional microphone to step up and share your thoughts with your own voice. So I'm happy to read it for you, but please, if you have a chance, join the conversation. So Julie wrote, "Thank you for the meditation. The energy was incredibly cold and of a high vibration. In my experience, these are the energies required to initiate soul release in self and others. The role of educator must therefore be inextricably linked to role of esoteric healer."
Yeah, the work of all seed groups is inextricably linked to each other. It is sometimes very difficult to distinguish between them because the release of soul energy is present in all of them. The Master Joel tells us the esoteric healers work by using the energy of prana. I mean, after the soul takes the control, then it uses prana to heal all levels. The work of educators is also very much linked to the work of psychologists. It is the use of psychology is extremely important in all education work.
I could contribute something from Krishnamacharya. This is a small booklet, this what exists, prayers and meditations. And here he says, fate is a drama and you are the actor. You can break the drama, you are happy or otherwise, and quit the stage, but you do not. You are trained to enact the drama, be it happy or otherwise, only in your role, while you remember that you are neither happy nor otherwise in your own original. You remember your unchangeable original, but your role for the time demands your activity. Sing and dance, weep and cry, give and take, but within the limits of the portion written on the starlit page. Never mind when you are made a beggar. Never be elated when you are made king. It is a drama. Before you are a king or a beggar, you are yourself an actor. Man is a son to his father and a father to his son, a husband to his wife and a wife to her husband. But before all this and before he is man and woman, he is himself, the actor. Even now it is enough if he is best in acting. It is enough if he cooperates in the play. It is enough if he keeps the teamwork well. It is bliss that gives color to the play, but not joy or sorrow. It is not the parts, but the whole which make the play. Play your role well, and you have played the role of a hero in your play. So this is what Krishnamacharya tells us.
There are more comments coming. Victor writes, greetings to all from Institute of Planetary Synthesis Odessa Group in Ukraine. Alice and Rudolf, thank you very much for being together in such nice meditation. This is from Victor and Oksana.
And Oksana, thank you both for being present.
Christine wrote, go ahead.
Yeah. There was one impression during the meditation about Sagittarius, because it is said that Sagittarius channels the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth ray. And that was, for me, suddenly very clear in this text. The fourth ray linking above and below. The fifth ray is the mind, the understanding that receives the spiritual inspiration. And the sixth ray is the dedication to the work and the purpose, dedication to the purpose.
Dicky indicates that Sagittarius has a special position in the zodiac, and it's in a special way related to the fate of humanity. And it's interesting that you mentioned that actually Sagittarius is in 3 different ray triangles, and
yes,
it really brings together, connects those different aspect rays of related to the 3rd ray of activity, and so therefore it's energy that focuses so many forces together and shoots them as arrows of inspiration moving forward. And this seed thought that you read from Krishnamacharya is there's so many things there, and as you said, that's as it's said in that paragraph, that we should trace the arrow looking into the reflection, and that is our life, right? How is it said?
Yes.
Before, in order to see clearly in the reflection, that needs not to have many ripples.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to have a clear mind to see that.
Yes, the clear mind, this is what we have to strive for day and night. Because only when we are very pure and clear on the mental level, then we will also be very useful for the world society.
Yes, the reflection is your understanding. And it says the reflection needs to be good reflection, not distorted.
Genau. Was nicht so richtig nicht vorlesen da from Peace. There's 2 short remarks from Krishnamacharya once again. He says, power lust of a higher order makes man fight for peace. Power lust of a higher order makes man fight for peace. And then he goes on and says, practice and peace is but living in peace. And this is where man possesses the wealth of no want. Practice and peace is but living in peace. And this is where man possesses the wealth of no want.
There is a question here.
There is, there's several more comments that I will share in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
So Christine wrote, the good hearts. How are we to reinforce the way away from competition to the efforts of cooperation?
Benefits, perhaps, Schmidt.
Benefits, yes, to the benefits of cooperation.
This is fear. We have overcome fear, yeah.
To overcome fear? Is this what you mean?
This is, yes, I think because...
You can speak into the microphone.
Ja, ich habe erst einmal mit dir.
There is another comment from Marta. Jeffrey Sachs is in his big book, The Age of Sustainable Development Goals, brings in the golden rule principle inherent in all religions with regard to establishing equality within the economic pillars for these SDGs. I wonder if we should appeal to some approach that transcends both the Marxist and neoliberal approaches. Maybe we could insert in text all financial tools used to develop access to income streams should be measured against the golden rule. All financial instruments must be measured by the norm of promoting of equality. Should any instrument be seen to increase inequality, they must be abandoned.
Well, we could say that of any measure, right? Any policy, any decision that promotes inequality should be abandoned.
So it is interesting to read on the first slide what you saw on the world religions. In every world religion there was already an approach to the golden rule, with different words. So
let me see if I can.
yes, yeah. So
they're
there
a bit small.
yeah, it's just small, but so if you can enlarge it on your screen, you can read this text. This is very interesting. So they had already in this stage when they created these religions, they had already the golden rule in their hearts and in their minds. So it is not the same words, but it is always the approach to the golden rule.
Daniela, can you please make Alice and Rudolf present us again, that they could share the slides, please?
I'm not sharing the slide.
Yes, you are.
Oh, I see. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can make it even bigger, but then it doesn't fit everything. I would have to show it in 2 parts. Let me see. 400. Wow.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Oh, yeah. Now you can read. Now you can read the text.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can take turns reading text in each under each religion's title.
Yeah.
Okay. Who starts?
Intuition. Start this.
I will start with the Baha'i. Lay not on any soul a load that you would not wish to be laid upon you, and desire not for anyone the things you would not desire for yourself.
Voilà. Intuition is this. No?
Do you want to read the Hinduism?
No, please.
Or someone else? No.
Because somebody else can read in the group.
Yeah. Yes. If you would like to read, raise your hand and we will unmute you. Please join our circle of voices. I will read for Hinduism. This is the sum of duty. Do not do to others what would cause pain if done to you. It's from Mahabharata. So we have some hands, so I will unmute.
Buddhism.
Laura?
Hi. Okay, I will read the Buddhism one.
Thank you.
Treat not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful.
Voilà. Confucianism.
Martha?
I will read the Confucian one. One word which sums up the big all good conduct, loving kindness. Do not do unto others what you do not want done to yourself.
Voilà.
I think this is the principle we mentioned last time during our last presentation, the word run in Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Right human relationships. So let's move up.
Islam. Islam and Taoism.
Michael, please.
Yes, this is a marvelous chart, and it would be great to have it for all of us. But anyway, Islam. Not one of you truly believes until you wish for others what you wish for yourself.
Wendy?
I'll read Taoism. Regard your neighbor's gain as your own gain, and your neighbor's loss as your own loss.
Mm-hmm. Next one.
Yeah, that comes good together with the Sustainable Development Goals, doesn't it?
Yes, yes.
Judaism.
Darcy, please unmute yourself. It's in, yes.
Okay, here we go. Judaism. What is hateful to you, do not do to your neighbor. This is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary.
Wow.
Yeah, comment Shabbat 31a.
Victor.
Sigrid.
Yeah. Good evening to all. I am stranger to no one, and no one is a stranger to me. Indeed, I am friend to all.
That's nice. Mm-hmm.
Jetzt gehen wir ganz hoch. So, noch ein bisschen. So, ja, gut.
Rudolf, could you read please next?
I found this one about strangers. It's very nice saying for a world where there is so much hate of what is foreigner or what is other. You know?
Rudolf, would you read the next, please?
One should, this is Jainism, one should treat all creatures in the world as one would like to be treated. All the creatures. This is not only the human beings. That brings to me once again the idea, should a human being eat meat from their younger brothers? I don't think so. All these slaughterhouses, what we have today, this is against the divine order.
I will read Zoroastrianism. Do not do unto others whatever is injurious to yourself.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Thank you.
May I read the next one?
Yes, please.
Native spirituality. We are as much alive as we keep the earth alive. Chief George. Yes.
Maar iets doen nog eens en dan nog eens zijn vriend. Wie doet this?
I will read Unitarianism. We affirm and promote respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are part.
Okay, Rudolf wants me to read the last one if nobody else has raised their hand.
Yes, please.
Christians, in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this is the law and the prophets. I was reading the other day in Hierarchy, the book from the Agni Yoga Society, and it said the greatest error of humanity is to think that we are outside of everything. We are not outside, we are inside.
Can they all load down this picture here? With all the religions? Did you send it? Everybody can load down this?
I think this, Rudolf was asking if you can get this picture from the webinar, but I don't know about that, but you can. Ah, yes, you're sending the link to get it.
Yeah.
Right. So they can.
Thank you, Daniela. You're reading the mind.
You see? This is good. Very nice.
And Susan wrote, this postage should be in all the churches. I would say in all the religious buildings.
All the religious groups should have this.
Marian wrote, "Greetings, love, joy, light, and blessings to all from Centro Sol from Bolivia, and much thanks to Rudolf and Alice." Question: is it possible to send us the picture? Yes, it's Daniel already sent the picture. It's in the chat window, so you can just click the link.
And I have all what we put here on the screen.
Yeah, they have a link where they can get the picture.
Yeah. And Marian continues, there are already many initiatives around the world of group work. I'd like to mention two. In Germany, the WeQ Institute is doing wonderful work on many levels. WeQ is more than IQ. The intelligence quote of groups is bigger than one.
Yes, well, I heard about this initiative also. Yeah.
There was for a second someone's hands raised, but I didn't catch who that was. If you still want to say something, please raise it again and I will unmute you.
It's Martha.
Yes, Martha, please unmute yourself. Yes.
I think I made a mistake. I enjoyed listening to the other voices so much. It is a really great group work, but I think I made a mistake in my hand. I'm not sure how to put it down.
Don't put it down. Keep it up. Thank you for your previous sharings. Yeah, those are very interesting thoughts. Definitely.
If you get through these webinars new life orientations, this is exactly wonderful.
There, another comment. So beautiful for memory. Maybe this page is helpful. On this page, we can zoom in and scroll. Oh, it's the same. Yeah. I didn't realize that. Thank you, Betty. And Susan says, I noticed the logo Scarborough Missions on the poster. Perhaps search. Yes. So we have a thank you, everyone. So it's not only Daniela who was searching and found it. Several people doing that. Thank you very much. And
as we received this poster from Jeffrey Waffles, he has written a book on the Golden Rule. Yes, and he wrote to us when he learned that we were going to speak about the Golden Rule today, and he sends greetings to all the participants. And he quoted also a passage from the book Urantia, I suppose, but I don't know the I don't know the book. I couldn't find this passage in the book, so I can't. Maybe I can find it, and maybe one of you knows how to get it. I'll put it in the. I put it in the chat window. What he sent.
Thank you. There is another comment from Kim. Thanks so much for this meditation today. I'm coming from Northern California, where we are recovering from the fires.
Yes, there are a lot of skilled people there. Huh.
We are experiencing group endeavor right now. In tragedy, all are equal, and the golden rule is not only easy to follow, but the first response for people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the positive side to tragedy, isn't it? Human being heart awakens when we are in a tragic situation.
Unfortunately, tragedy is a very effective learning tool, and that allows us to step out from our individual ring pass knot and realize that there are others and that they experience the pain the same way. And that's how we learn the practicality of the golden rule.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Very wise.
But we have another opportunity to learn through consciousness, and that's the preferable way. Unfortunately, it's not available for everyone yet, but that's where the work of educators come in force for us. If we only realize that in effect there are only these two ways to learn things, through own experience and tragedy and through the consciousness.
So that I could share something from my contacts with Krishnamacharya in India. The children, when they come to this school of Krishnamacharya, they do not learn at first intellectual things. They are trained to get contact, conscious contact with their higher selves at first. And afterwards, they get then training on mathematics, on writing and reading and so on. So it's a total different new kind of education, starting with the spiritual level and going then down to the intellectual level. It's exactly the opposite what we are doing today in schools.
I think the Rudolf Steiner schools are...
This is...
And the, you know, what you said, Alex, is so wise, because first of all, people need to maybe somehow grasp that consciousness is the better learning tool. I'm not sure people understand that that is even a possibility. It's like human rights. Some people don't know they have human rights. And now we need to know, somehow find a way to share that we all have consciousness rights as well. But I wanted to share also, Norway is building a system without textbooks. Just a start.
Einige sind schon weggegangen. 101,
there was a comment right now, and I was about to repost it in the chat that everyone could see, but by mistake posted as a response to you. Sorry, it disappeared on my screen as a result. So if you could repost it again. I didn't notice the name, who that was.
It was Emilse, Angel.
So if if you can repost it again, please. And we're getting to the end of the time allocated for the webinar, and so I invite, if anyone has any comments to share by the end, Rudolf, Alice, or anyone else in this circle, please.
Yes, in a sense, all of us who are working with the teaching of the Tibetan master are part of this group of educators. We're all helping to bring in the light. This is our endeavor.
Yes, we are all related to the second ashram and to the work of education.
Yeah.
So it's our responsibility to help humanity to learn through consciousness, but not through pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am practicing for many years. As soon as I met Krishnamacharya, he offered me to step into existing already group work of meditators. And so he asked me to have every 12 hours meditation. This is 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening. And this is a discipline I'm following now for 40 years. And one of the essential points in this discipline is also the golden rule. It is mentioned in this meditation outline also. So if you do this, then you are living like in another, because after 11 hours activity, then you feel that capacity goes down of spiritual energy, and then you have only to wait 1 hour, and then you reestablish this link, and then you reload your batteries, as we can say it like this. So, I think this gives also a very good health, physical and psychological health. So this rhythm, this is like sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. So if we go into cosmic order, into cosmic rhythm in our daily life, every day. So, and this is the proposal was the proposal to me by Krishnamacharya. So step into this order and do this what others are already doing on the planet. And I find this is a very good lifestyle, what you have then, because you are recharged, reloaded with wonderful energy and constructive thoughts. Every 12 hours you are renewed, and so you can also do a lot for the common good. You have also done the right ideas if you have suddenly a situation which you didn't expect. But if you are in this rhythm, in this constructive rhythm with the hierarchy, then you have always also the right ideas what you can express. So I think spiritual life is a life of very tough disciplines, and there's no excuse that you cannot do this, but you have to change your life that you can do it. So this is exactly what has happened in life, and then you will be freed from a lot of emotional or astral things, and you are entering into the mental plane. I wish you all a nice end of year, and starting next time once again.
New beginning, 2019.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rudolf. Thank you, Alice, and thanks everyone for being together in the circle and bringing our focus to the group of educators and reinforcing our educational intent and focus through our service. And we are in the first day of the 5 days period, so let's keep our meditative focus on the golden rule. And
yeah, that's the point.
Our beacon.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Happiness to everybody.
Thank you. And we invite you to join our coming webinars. On December 9, we will continue our work with the new moon cycle, bringing our focus to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This time we will focus on the goal 10, reduced inequalities. And after that, our next webinar will be the Capricorn Solar Festival, which will coincide with the Solstice Festival. And we will bring our focus in the cycle of Capricorn to the seed group of religious workers. And our guests will be Lena and Sheldon Hughes. And so please come join us. And also, I want to tell you about another meeting that will be happening while we are in the cycle of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, as you know, it's a good time to meditate on the goal and goals. As the keynote is I see the goal, or reach that goal, and I see another goal. So we, the coordination group of the 2025 initiative, invites you to join the collective meditation on the goals for the next year. And on the screen, I'm showing the questions that we invite you to take into your meditation starting this full moon. And so that sometimes during this month, around the new moon time, we will have a meeting that everyone could join the circle and share impressions of these meditations. So as Rudolf and Alice said, we approach in 2019. So these are the questions related to our next cycle of collective activity. What are the most important aspects and qualities of the plan that seek to manifest now? What do World Service can do to assist the precipitation and ultimate manifestation of the immediate aspects and qualities of the plan? What could and should be done to prepare for the World Service Festival Week in December 2019? What should be the focus of the efforts of the new group of World Service during the Festival Week in 2019? So these are the questions we invite you to take with you into the Sagittarius meditation. Coming together as one group, let's ponder on this. Thank you very much. Let's stay connected. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.